What is happening, folks? Playing around with all the functions from the new ijoy AI voice-controlled Avenger mod. This thing has so many cool functions. This literally is probably the coolest mod I have ever played with. We're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of some of the features. I'm loving this thing. I'm in nerd heaven right now. So first of all, the ijoy Avenger 270 kit, as you see here, is actually only a 234 watt maximum output. Cool thing that I love about this mod is that there are tons and tons of features, including the AI capabilities. But on top of that, it literally is about as simple as using a normal mod with just button functions that allow you to get into the menu and play around with everything else. Temperature coefficient, power rating, so on and so forth. AI controls that you can kind of play around with this bad boy. All right, so we have the voice control 270 Avenger kit, and I got the awesome mirror green. And we have all the specifications here. Now, if you get the kit, you're gonna get two 2700 batteries included with this bad boy. You come with one 18650 adapter, so you can use 18650s with this. One replacement glass, the sub-ohm tank that comes with it, the Avenger tank. And then you get the X3 mesh coil with the newly popularized wood pulp cotton combo. So that's your high wattage output, 40 to 90, and that one's the pre-installed one. And then basically your just standard type of coil action, the X3 C1S, 40 to 80. And of course your tool pack, your manual, warranty card, and one USB cable, because we already don't have 50 bajillion of those, right? Oh, in all its wondrous mirror green glory. And because I am a nerd, I haven't even taken the plastic off of this guy yet. And just kind of take a little bit of a gander at this bad boy. So you got the bubble tank, which is very cool indeed. Dual airflow bottom, and it does have a stopping point, which I love because it's just not going to rotate constantly. Top filling, boom, coming at you, okay? And this is the new mesh coil design. That's what the new mesh coils look like, okay? So it's basically suspended at each end by a single sort of like piano wire basically, and then you just have the internal mesh wire construction. Now if anybody's looking at this and they're thinking to themselves, wow, what a simple construction, that's because it is. More than less, you're going to end up seeing more and more companies going to a more simplified design structure for a lot of things of this caliber, simply because, well, that old saying, keep it simple, stupid, really does actually sort of kind of make sense. And then just to get extra special nerdy, I'll even do a little bit of this action. So 25 millimeters in diameter. And if we look at the Avenger, it's a center 510 connection. So zero hangover, boom, as you can see, okay? So, and everything matches up so beautifully. Love the mirror green finish, okay? So if you get the kit, you get the two 2700 batteries, of course. You get some O-rings. You get your 18650 adapter, get the other regular coil, and then of course you got your glass tube, USB cable. Okay, so we're gonna take these bad boys out. Paying strict attention to the direction of the positive and negative. We're gonna put that in there, and I just want you to watch the magic happen. Avenger. There, now the magic is gonna happen. V1.6. And we're talking about just an amazing amount of light action going on here. And let me kind of adjust the goodness. There we go. Okay, so now what you're witnessing is the rhythm of the light flowing to the balance and beauty and majesty of my voice. So we're just going to wake this thing up and say, hello, ijoy. Boom, there you have it. Romantic light. Now we're going to get a little romantic. Okay, so let's say the romantic light is just not your bag. Hello, ijoy. Light off. And it's about as simple as that. The voice activation on this is actually pretty stellar. You know, I played around with this for a good long time. Sometimes you had to get kind of all up in its face in order to get the voice activation to comply properly. But you just got to start everything kind of like with a Hey Google or an, Hey Alexis. Hello, iJoy. Turn on light. Change color. Change color. Change color. Change color. Change color. So we got some options going here, and you do have different kind of tonal variations to how the light will kind of play around with just different variations of music and with your voice and stuff like that. Hello, iJoy. Lock device. Unlock device. So there's one cool little feature right there. Shut down. Okay, so here's the thing with this. I have not yet figured out the voice command to actually turn this thing back on. Hello, iJoy. Turn on. Yeah, see, not happening. So what we actually have to do is push in the stretch fire button, and it turns right back on to the position in which we need it. It can also do some other cool little aspects, like, let's do this one. Hello, iJoy. Power low. Power low. Power low. So basically, as you're seeing, it goes down in increments of 10 watts at a time. But you can also reverse this. You can just consistently keep going one way or the other. Like I said, hello, iJoy. Power high. Power high. Power high. And it'll just keep on going like that over and over and over again. And of course, you can obviously still use all the button functions in every which way desired. Okay, now here's a really cool aspect. Hello, iJoy. Auto watt. It pretty much sets it to an automatic point at which it assumes it's going to make everything taste just spiffalicious and amazing. Now, the mesh coil is the one that I have in the tank right now, and that is the one that can go all the way up to 90 watts. But that is just a recommendation. So, I mean, of course, you can play around this to your heart's content. Now, let's take a look at some of the normal functions here. Now, first of all, obviously, wattage counter, normal, that is pretty much your power setting that you can change once I'll show you how to get into there. Far left hand of the screen shows the puff count, which in my opinion is nothing more than kind of a fluff additive. Not many people even care about the amount of puffs. 3.15 volts is definitely what's going through this bad boy, and a 0.16 ohm coil. Now, let's take a look at the tires, the wheels, I should say, on this awesome little car on the screen. You have A and then you have B. Basically, all that is displaying the power rating of what's left in each one of your individual batteries. Now, we'll go 1, 2, 3. It takes you into the menu. So we have power. That one's pretty self-explanatory. You hit the fire button, it just takes you back to the main screen. That means you're working with wattage. Now we're going to go to T, and that shows you can work with nickel, titanium, stainless steel. You have some memory functions going on here, memory 1, memory 2, and then exit. So as you can see there, you got the little SS, stainless steel. You have the current Fahrenheit setting. Now if you want to play around with that, all you got to do is click the down ramp button on the left. Once you see the little Fahrenheit symbol will start flashing. Now you can adjust it. You can take it all the way up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. And then if you go one past that, it'll take you straight to Celsius. And then you just, boom, hit the fire button, and you're pretty much set and ready to go. Works the exact same way for the nickel and the titanium functions. We're going to bring this back to power and just make it simple for our purposes, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, let's go back into this. Let's take a look at the light functions here. So we've got blue, we've got green, we've got red, and we've just got white. Now, what if you want it just to kind of bounce around and play with different colors? Hit the colorful, and as you can see, it'll hit up different lights. Hit the colorful, And as you can see, it'll just kind of bounce around to different colors like that indeterminately until you want to play around with something different. Watch, I'll hit the fire button and it'll just kind of bounce around like that. It'll play around and have some fun. Go back into the color setting. We'll go from colorful, we'll go to the first sound mode. So this is what the first sound mode looks like when you're playing it next to some music or you're talking to it like I'm doing. It's got a pretty solid, quick response. Basically like an old school spectrum analyzer. That's pretty much exactly what it is. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll go back into that. Let's check out sound mode number 2. So sound mode number 2 has just a little bit of a flash degree in terms of speed and just sort of how the LED flows out of existence. I kind of like sound mode number 2. Sound mode number 3 is just a little bit deeper. It almost looks a little bit more like Knight Rider kit-wise. But once the sound stops and then starts up again, it looks a little bit more alive. Really dig the sound function number 3. Or you could go to function number 4 and it's a little bit more showy. I'm kind of feeling like I'm in a club right now. Or if you just don't want to deal with any of the colors, you go 1, 2, 3, boom, right back into that and just click off. But where's the fun in that? The power settings, normal is where it's at right now. This is pretty self-explanatory to a certain degree. Everybody has pretty much played around with this kind of stuff before. So normal, like I said, is where it starts. Hard if you want a little bit of a harder vape. Soft, just in case you want something just a little bit smoother. And then of course you've got user. Now user is for an individual experience. User is actually kind of cool. I've never actually played around with this function before, but user enables you to up ramp the first 3 seconds of every single puff with this specific amount of wattage that's going to go through your coil. So it's kind of a cool little feature. Like I can pretty much kind of go like that and you hit the fire button, goes over to the next one and I can up ramp it, goes over to the next one. I kind of like that, go over to the next one. Let's say I want to down ramp it, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So you can pretty much go all the way through this, cycle through and ramp it pretty much whatever way you wish. You can start from low to high, high to low, whatever. I'm just going to leave it pretty much at the standard of where it is. Drop that down just one more. And then of course we have the temperature coefficient resistance. This is for those individuals, those incredibly nerdy individuals that really want to get into the nitty-gritty of adjusting and just customizing the temperature control of your coils, whether they be nickel, titanium, stainless steel. You can do all that stuff through several memory functions if you are so inclined. And now we just go to some of the last cool features here. So you can totally reset the puff count here. If you want to reset the puff count, I think we've gotten all of maybe 3 puffs. Reset that bad boy, boom, there's the reset. And once we've done that, let's play with screen time. That's going to allow you to adjust how long you want the screen to stay on until it goes into an idle mode. I like mine on long, so we'll leave it 120 seconds. And that's just going to stay on indeterminately, well, for 2 minutes, really. 1, 2, 3, let's go back into that bad boy. And then there is voice AI, whether you want it on or whether you want it off. And let's turn it off for the sake of the heck of it. Boom, goodbye. So for those of you that didn't know how to turn this thing on or off with the voice control, that's how it's done. Hello, ijoy. Auto watt. 60 watts it is, guys. We're gonna bring the camera up. First of all, I'm gonna do 2 things. Number 1, I'm gonna lighten up the mood just a little bit. Number 2, I'm actually going to take the screen protector off. Nerd time is over. Cry a little tear. I bet it'll get its first scratch now, right? Okay, so we're gonna go back to the lighting and actually lower that once again. Because you know what? I like the lighting. We'll go to the cool kit eyes from old school Knight Rider. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, okay? So we'll play around with that. And then will bring it to a close. Okay, my peeps, so some unfortunates that I do have to declare. While I was playing around with this, holding this in front of the camera, felt a little bit of warm wetness on the back of my hand. So I hate to say I am experiencing some leakage from the Avenger tank. Now, all is not totally lost. I'm really not used to most tanks like this with this large of a capacity to not leak, okay? Just because it's a new mesh coil design and it uses wood pulp and all that happy stuff doesn't mean that the viscosity of the liquid, once you increase the heat from the viscosity, it's going to thin the viscosity, it's going to pour through and leak through all cracks and have all kinds of happy fun. Especially when it gets all sticky and it leaks down everything and it pisses you off. But you know what? You kind of suck it up and learn to move on. Let's talk about some pros and cons with this bad boy. Now, one of the really cool things that I like is the multitude of designs that this thing comes in. It comes in black, green, blue, red. I think it comes in a purple as well as, you know, like a stainless steel. And then, of course, you got all the rainbow coalition colors. You know what I'm saying? I, of course, got the mirror green for the Incredible Hulk type of action, which is ample because I am getting back into bodybuilding. The screen is huge, first of all, and it's incredibly clear. It has very, very simple functions, and that is the one thing that I really dug about this, is that the functions are so simple, it does not overwhelm the fact that it has a new voice control function. The AI is pretty decent. I mean, it picks up good voice control. Hello, ijoy. And there you have it. Now, there's a certain distance, I think, that you can get away from it, which is pretty much what most people tell me is arm's length. I'm actually going to let that go. Hello, ijoy. Okay, so maybe shorter than arm's length. Maybe for a short arm. Hello, ijoy. Okay, so there you go. It really depends on the voice, and I can throw my voice pretty good, I think. So the user interface, pretty darn simple. Nothing that most of us aren't used to at this point, at least with some of the higher end regulated mods. It has all the features anybody could possibly want. And the really, really cool aspect, the one aspect that I really super dig, is that you can shut off the voice control and just go right back into manual. Here's why that is so cool, because a lot of us old schoolers, old timers, feet draggers that don't want to get into the next century with new devices are pretty much of the opinion, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just give me what keeps working, you know what I mean? So it does give people the opportunity to shut the voice control off if they really just don't want to deal with it. Let's talk about the tank. The tank is a really cool design. I have been a massive fan of the bubble tanks for quite some time. The overall tank capacity, I believe, is 5+ milliliters. You know what? It doesn't say on the box. Let me see if it actually says so in the manual. So it doesn't actually say so in the manual or on the box, but I'll find that information out and post it on Facebook and in the description below. But we're talking about a massively smooth draw. So this is the 40 to 90 wattage output, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this is the preloaded mesh coil. Now, one thing that I've been noticing about a lot of feedback from the mesh coils is the flavor output, which is just superb, and just the overall cloud production. But most of all, it's basically just in the lifespan. Apparently, the mesh coils seem to last a heck of a lot longer. Overall, the look is gorgeous. I mean, it has just a really nice design. And the one thing that I really dig about the battery compartment door is that it is not going to come off. And this has been the complaint of many individuals, consumers, reviewers. My buddy from the Pacific Northwest, Juicy Jones, is a massive advocate for the use of proper battery door latches, and this is definitely no exception. I'm sure he'll probably agree. And Juicy, I have not seen your review on the Avenger, but we'll get together eventually and we'll get down to the nitty-gritty. Incidentally, if any of you guys have not checked out my friend Juicy Jones on his YouTube channel, he's a guy kind of like me, just a little bit more hyper-neurotic when it comes to the nerdy stuff, okay? Somehow we get along just fine, though. Don't hold anything against him. Just check out his channel and give him a subscribe. I love you, Juicy. You know that, brother. So anyways, overall, like I said, the practicality kind of depends on how you're going to look at it. Now, the basic retail price of this guy is about $100. Now, you can get it off the ijoy website. Of course, it's going to cost you a little bit higher if you buy it retail from the manufacturer's website. You can definitely check out places like Vapor DNA. You can do a little bit of shopping online. I know Health Cabin is definitely going to get into this, as well as some of the other major retailers from overseas as well as domestic. I'm sure you can buy this thing for a little bit cheaper than that. I think the cheapest price I've seen was $90 retail, which is a pretty decent price considering. Anyways, I would love to hear all of your guys' feedback. If there's any more information I could possibly cram into your brains, definitely put something in the comment section below. Let me know on Instagram. You can always give me a DM, give me a shout out, show me some love, and maybe I'll just show you guys a little bit of love back, okay? So ijoy, thank you. Once again, ijoy USA. Love you guys. You know I love you. You always do it right for Joe of all vapes, okay? So next time, it's going to be some solid reviews. I'm going to be trying to do more live reviews on my YouTube channel for as long as it lasts, you know what I mean? And we're just going to have a little bit more fun in the future time. Definitely check out the next West Coast Vape Expo. It's going to be in Seattle, Washington in July 6th, 7th, and 8th. Yours truly is going to be there with Vango Vapes, as well as some other people. My buddy Juicy Jones and my other friend Joe from Barista Brew is going to be there as well. It's going to be a massively huge event. So any of you guys in the Pacific Northwest, definitely buy your tickets soon, because the VIP tickets have already sold out like weeks ago. So don't even bother trying to get a hold of those. Anyways, Joe of all vapes, thank you very much for watching once again. Your eye in that vaping sky. Stay humble, love yourselves, love each other, keep it massively cloudy, and as always, pinky out. Hey everybody, this is Joe of all vapes. Thank you for watching. For the best in vape reviews, pound that subscribe button, and don't forget, vaping saves lives.